everyone, my name is Velocity and welcome back to another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle video, where today we are going to be taking a look at the 10th anniversary Part 3 EZAs, the STR LR Kaioken Goku and Tech Giant Ape Vegeta. Now these are actually the 7th anniversary Part 2 LRs, making them the most recent LR EZAs, or actually any EZA that we have had thus far in the game, and actually even coming out later than the God, Vegeta, and Goku, and then the Super Saiyan 4s that we can probably expect to see next week for the end of Part 3. Now, I've taken a look at these guys already, and they're kind of, it's interesting. I'm a little bit confused by this Goku specifically, so let's start off here. And I'm happy Global's actually like posting translations now. I used to have to like sit there and translate for half an hour. It was kind of annoying. Now, just, I want to point out quickly, you know, his leader skill is trash. Like, 170s are kind of no longer even, like, possible to use with the 220% leaders now, especially. His link set is actually quite good. He has Kamehameha, Sand Lineage, Over into Flash, Z Fighter, Shocking Speed, Shattering the Limit, and Legendary Power. I can't talk. And Z Fighters being the obvious kind of outlier there in the worst link that he has. Now, if we look over here at his kit, what will you notice? Not much, because there's not much there. This is his base kit pre-EZA, and there's really not too much that they gave him. He still has the same intro condition, which is not ideal. It has to be an enemy Vegeta and legendary Vegeta. Then there's probably a couple, I think some of the like worldwide red zone fights, which were never very hard, have like a Vegeta in there somewhere, but I'm not even sure if that's turn 1. Anyway, that will net you only key 3 and 100% attack, which is not that important, so I guess you could get away with not having that. Next is his basic effects, which is 200% attack and defense, 70% chance to crit. He guaranteed orb changes a random key sphere to STR. That's going to be very important for his kit, which we'll get to a few lines down. And then for 7 turns from the character's entry turn, he gets 10 key and 100% defense. I don't know why they didn't just make this permanent. I mean, they could make the key 7 turn limited, but I think he really does want defense, and in those first 7 turns, he's kind of going to be struggling. But if fights go on past 7 turns, and for me they definitely have been recently, I've been ending at like turn 10, 11 on some fights, he's going to be pretty weak, I think. So anyway, when attacking with 12 or more key, which you'll always get, especially with this key plus 10, you get 159% attack and defense. I'm not sure how his key is going to be looking after this runs out, because, I mean, he doesn't really have much key in his kit, but he does orb change, so we'll see. When attacking with 18 or more key, he gets an additional 159% attack. This doesn't matter as much, but you're going to want to be attacking with his 18 key, as we'll see in a second. Now here's kind of the crux of his kit, of his design, which is for every STR key sphere obtained, he gets 4% damage reduction. Now, I actually want to go back to the to an old EZA from 2 years ago, which is the Super Saiyan Goku, the Spirit Bomb absorbed Goku from the 8th anniversary. And for every key sphere obtained, if we look at his EZA, he was getting 7% damage reduction. Now, granted, this was per rainbow key sphere obtained, but it has been 2 years since then, and guys, I think we can do a little better than 4% damage reduction per key sphere obtained. Now, if we just take a look and calculate up, let's say we have a full field of orbs, which is going to be pretty much impossible. He maxes out at 92% damage reduction. Problem is, you're not getting a full field of orbs. You're probably going to be getting around, let's say, 7 orbs. I feel like that's a fair amount. And keep in mind, this is not including rainbow key spheres. This is only STR key spheres. So this is like a very generous estimate. He's at 28% damage reduction with 7 STR key spheres obtained. In 2025, with these defensive numbers with 200% plus 100% in entry for first 7 turns, and then 159 after attacking. That's not a lot. He's going to be, I mean, we'll look at calculations in a minute, but I'm sure he's going to be hovering around probably 1 million defense, and then after attacking, he'll maybe jump up to, no, I mean, before attacking, he'll definitely be below 1 million defense. Yeah, it's just, there's no real way to spin this other than it's not enough, and like Super Battle Road might even trounce this guy. I don't know, because my main concern with this kit is if you take a look at the other units that we have to go on his team, we have the Gogeta, we have the Gohans, we have the new LR EZA Gohan, who's 100% better than this guy, by the way, the Super EZA. They orb change, and they could just take any one of this guy's STR orbs, and depending on what slot he's in, just change them all, and you're stuck with no STR orbs. You get no damage reduction, and your raw defense, you get slapped instantly by normals, because bosses are doing 3 million normals now. So I'm very much not a fan of this guy's design. I'll say his one saving grace, if we take a look at it here, is his ultra super attack is 18 key, massively raises attack and defense for 4 turns. So he does stack 100% raises on attack and defense. It is only for 4 turns, so you can stack a max of 2. But yeah, no, it's just not enough, man. And he's also sacrificing HP, which I get it's like Kaioken Goku, but nah, it's just not good enough. And then his 12 key super, he 50% raises attack and defense for 1 turn, causes Mega Colossal. Yeah, very basic kit. He really is not gaining much. He already had the orb changing. He already had this kind of garbage intro. He had the key for 7 turns. He gets defense on that. And the damage reduction, for the 4% damage reduction is the only thing they added. Yeah, I'm disappointed. This guy's a really cool unit, and I mean, this Spirit Bomb I'm sure is going to hit like a tank, but damage is not what you're looking for, especially in 2025. Now, we got the bad stuff out of the way. Let's move on to this godly Great Ape Vegeta. I read the Goku and I was like, oh man, I really hope they don't like make this Great Ape Vegeta the same kit. They didn't. He's crazy. I mean, you can already see his passive is like twice as long, dude. Now keep in mind, before we get into it, his link set is not good. He has Saiyan Warrior Race, Royal Lineage, over 9,000, Transform, Saiyan Roar, Shattering the Limit, and Legendary Power. You might be able to get like 4 out of 7 paired up with the GT Goku. Let me see. I mean, see, his best linking partner has 5 links. I think the Goku probably has 4. The new Anniversary LR. But anyway, this his intro is actually kind of inherently better because it is a Goku enemy. Goku's a lot more common in fights. You got stuff like the like big Broly Punch Goku. I don't know the name. A bunch of the Supreme Magnificent Battles. They all have Gokus, so you should be able to get this off pretty easily, or not pretty easily, but more often. And that is Ki plus 3, attack 100, same as the other Goku. And here we have the same Ki 3, attack and defense 200%. And just, they give him 20% damage reduction right off the bat. And obviously that's going to be, it's not a ton, but it's already like kind of nearing the STR Kaioken Goku's ceiling just for doing nothing, which I think is funny. He gets an additional 1 key per key sphere. Now he does an orb change, but I'm confident that with the other orb changers, he is going to be doing just fine in terms of key. And they just give him guard on top of the damage reduction, which is nice, but again, everything I read here is just going to make me like question what they did with the Goku. He has the same thing that the Goku did with 12 key. He gets 160% attack and defense. When he's using his 18 key super, he gets defense though, where the Goku gets attack. Just, you know, another thing. I think that was in their kit before, but it's just like, yeah, there we go, defense plus 60. It's just, they should both have 160% attack and defense on 18 key. after guard is activated, so this is basically after receiving a hit because he's guaranteed guard. He has Ki +3 and attack and defense 60% for 3 turns. Now, I'm not sure if this reprocs every time you get hit. It might. I'm not sure. It doesn't stack. I know that for sure, obviously. And then here we go. As the first attacker in a turn, defense plus 60% again. So at this point, we're at what? 200, 360, 520. After guard is activated, 580, 640% defense, which is a lot better than Goku's what, like 300. And then he gets an additional 40% damage reduction. So we have high defensive stats. We have 60% damage reduction in slot 1. And we have unconditional guard. This is 2 things. 1, really good. And 2, full dodge unit. That the only thing he's missing in his kit is dodge. And actually, I would have liked if they'd given Goku a little bit of dodge. Sorry, I don't mean to keep like bagging on the Goku, but he really does suck. And then here we go. As the second or third attacker in the turn, he gets 60% attack and launches an additional that has a 70% chance of being a super. My one critique I would say is maybe this should have just been a guaranteed additional super. But yeah, you're not going to want to put him in slot 2 or 3. You're only going to do it if he's getting if he gets locked. And then when attacking with 24 Ki, just why not? Attacks are effective against all types. I'm probably going to try to give this guy like a balanced-ish build, but I'm going to lean crit and dodge. And actually next week, when he drops on Friday, and these guys should be coming out Friday at 3 a.m. Eastern time, the 21st, they will actually be getting the anniversary equips from the new 10th anniversary battle event. So be sure to get those, especially for this Vegeta. He's going to be really good. Yeah, because he has attacks effective against all types, but no crit, so. Although it is kind of redundant, I guess. Alright, now let's check out the super attack effects. He 50% raises attack and raises defense for 1 turn, and causes colossal damage to enemy. You know, it's kind of a standard super attack. And then he does a 50% defense raise, and he has an AoE 18 Ki, which is, I mean, we are actually getting some fights with multiple enemies, so that's kind of nice. Yeah, he seems really good. I'm glad they didn't like skimp out on giving him defense on his super. Actually, I don't remember if he already had it, but yeah, no, they did give him defense on his 12 Ki, and I think they very easily could have not done that. And yeah, I'm very happy with what we're seeing here from this Vegeta. He seems very good. And I was taking a look at both what global and Japanese players had to say, and no one really, it's kind of a similar sentiment to what I've expressed. No one likes the Goku. Everyone thinks this Vegeta's great, and I think he's probably sitting up there in top 1 to 2 best EZAs that we've had in the game. So yeah, without further ado, let's check out Calx real quick, and then we will end off. And sorry, real quick, I just wanted to point out before we go that Vegeta has a Giant Ape form that he gets if he falls under 40% HP. That's going to serve as like a team protector mechanic. He gets Ki +6, attack 318%, guaranteed crits, and his super attack effect, he is greatly raising on 12 Ki and massively raising on 18 Ki. You know, sounds like a giant form. He's going to do some decent damage, and yeah, he does have that team protector where I think it's if he falls under 40%. So yeah. Alright, here we have Halvard's calculations. I will put his Twitter in the comments, or in the description below. Thank you for, oh, you can see my comment. Thank you for the calcs. And yeah, start of turn defense we are seeing is very low, so he's going to start out 351, which I guess, you know, I've seen lower. And his super attacks are going to be doing a lot of the heavy lifting here. So 118 Ki, we will see he jumps up to 1.8, and since he is massively raising, he will maintain that, which is nice. We definitely do like to see that. And after 2 stacks, he will actually be up to 2.7 after super, which is very good. I mean, you can't really deny that. Only problem is, that would be great if he had 40-50% damage reduction, but he doesn't, and he's probably going to have close to 20. Even if they had given him 25-30% base damage reduction, I think it would have been pretty good. He will be getting support from the Gogeta, the Gohans, Beerus. I'm not sure if he's on successors, actually. Let's see. He is not. He is on Gogeta's 200% though. Both these guys are 220%. Yeah, 3.5 million defense, like assuming he's in his very, very best scenario, which he won't be, with, let's say, 20% damage reduction, 30% damage reduction, you're still getting slapped up by these, like, this Frieza, turn 1, even in slot 2. It's not great. And especially we're getting new fights on Friday dropping with this guy. He's not going to be able to keep up in there. Now, to take a look at Vegeta quickly, you're seeing similar numbers, 300k in slot 1. I'm just going to kind of gloss over slot 2 and 3. You don't want to keep him there. Yeah, he has 1.9 million defense after his 18 key, and he doesn't massively raise, and it's only a 1-turn raise, so pre-super he might be a little bit susceptible, but he's going to have, 60% damage reduction, guard, and 300k defense. It's not terrible. And post-super he's going to be completely untouchable. After receiving an attack, he jumps up to 490 start of turn. So the one place I can see him getting caught is before he ever receives an attack, just if they super you immediately. And actually, I think it kicks in that I can't remember. Don't quote me on that. But anyway, you'll see he just kind of has these buffs. Everything he has is going to be permanently buffing him. So he's probably going to be sitting after super around, worst case scenario, like 1.5k or 1.5 mil defense, with 60% damage reduction and guard. We've come a long way in terms of power creep, but we haven't come that far. So yeah, those are going to be the Kaioken Goku and Great Ape Vegeta EZAs. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comments, and let me know if you'd like to see me do like community reaction videos or stuff like that. I appreciate the support. Have a beautiful day, and goodbye.